Hey everybody. So tonight I thought I'd do a little bit with this, so you can guess what I'm doing. That's right. It's Chewbacca work. Got to start sculpting it. So it's no time like the present. So let's get going and readjust the camera here. All right. So this is the board I'm going to build, sculpt my mask on. But in order to make it look right, I need to put a grid on here. So I'm going to do a quick grid of 1 inch by 1 inch. Just draw it on here. Now I'll get the center. Now the reason you do the grid is so you can make sure everything scales correctly, so you don't end up with something kind of lopsided. Let you do things symmetrical. And you can take a picture and lay it on the grid, add a 1 inch grid to that, or whatever scale you want, whatever you think. You can add a grid to that, and then you can scale it. So if I was going to take and say an 8 by 10, I'd figure out what the scale is of the face, given the distance between the eyes. Draw that grid, and then I could take that and apply it here so I get all the curves appropriate. So that's what I'm doing here, is just setting up this board so I can do that kind of work. Okay, so I've got these 3/4 inch. I'm going to try these and see what they look like. So just set them there, because my monster mud is going to go all the way around there, and that's going to give me a little more depth. And I think that's going to do it. I don't think I need any more. So I'm good there. All right. So I've got the my monster clay, and I've already put it in a microwave for 3 minutes, and it's nice and soft. So now I'm going to just start building this thing up. And I'm just going to kind of, not too worried about it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to add a base around the bottom to just cover that area. And I use this monster clay, which is kind of a waxy thing. You heat it up and it gets soft, and you can keep heating it up again and again and again, because it'll never harden all the way. And some people don't like it, but I do. So I'm just going around the edge here, creating a wall between and just supporting the cast there all the way around. This took a little bit more clay than I thought it was going to, but it's important that the piece not rock back and forth. And then I'll just start adding a layer of clay on top of the sculpt, on top of the cast there. And this gives me something to work off of. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just thin layers of clay. And there I go. I'm starting to kind of define the brow line. Because what you're doing here is you're trying to make sure you want to make sure your sculpt, you know where your eyes are. And so it's important, you see when I get to the eye part here, and keep building up. And unfortunately the camera, so there'll be a jump coming up. A little bit there. Camera quit recording. And so I'm just going around building up this, putting a layer of clay, thin layer of clay of the whole piece. And then I'll start building up the nose and start building up the profile. And then once that's the great thing about doing this is, if you don't like it, just take it back off and redo it. You just keep doing it till you got it good, and just keep refining it and keep refining it. So I already see things that I want to do different or want to modify, but they'll get there. So here I'm working around the other eye, and I just keep adding those thin layers, one after the other. And it's kind of weird doing this over your own cast. And here comes another jump. Camera cut off and I didn't catch it. So at this point, yes, I'm started to build the brow. Starting to kind of, I'm not really happy with this part. But I'm just trying to get a sense of building the snout out. So I built a little wall and started filling it in. This may end up going away. We'll see how it goes in a little bit. And so I started building a rough brow line, which again I'll fill in. The interesting thing, here I'll start working on the head, because I need at least another 2 inches, 2.5 inches above my natural skull, because his face is bigger. And right now this is really narrow. But once I get more monster clay in, I'll be able to work this more. You can see I just started adding material and kind of to get that ski slope, big forehead that Chewie has. And now I'll start working on proportions. And right now this is all just really rough. There I am filling in, extending his forehead out so that it doesn't look like a huge just line of brow there. It should, his brow line's different. And now I'm building out that nose. And just continue to keep refining. You see, it's just, I see something I don't like, I keep changing it. I keep changing it until I get it right. I'm not sure the snout is not at all correct. In fact, I'll probably be cutting that out. Camera's going to jump here in a second. And right there it went. So I'm just enjoying doing this. Okay. So yeah, got a long way to go, but it's a start. It's getting there. It needs more width, needs symmetry. I need to really look at the mouth area because it's just not close at all. But you kind of look at it and you can start seeing, it's hard to see on camera, but I can start seeing, like, I can see him in there a little bit. I'm starting to get a sense of Chewie's in here, or starting to get in here. Just a lot more work. I got to build this out because, Chewbacca's head is like this wide, mine's this wide. So I've got inches to add to the width to my sculpt here.
before I get probably an inch on either side, before I get close to the dimensions of the Chewie head. And I gotta order some more monster clay. So, you know, I can see parts of this that are working, and that's cool. I can see a lot of stuff that isn't yet, but I know it's going to. It's just going to take some time. So, there we go. We're getting there, big guy. Just stick with me. One day, I'll have him. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Just gotta get this sculpt really, really good, because I don't want to have to recast him several times to get him right. That gets really expensive. I'd rather get the sculpt right, cast that, then work the underskull part, cast that, then get that foam in between, so you got all the different layers. Then I can build my positive skin in between the underskull and the underskull positive. So I got to make a cast, then make the underskull shape, make a positive of that, then lay that with a little separation. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I haven't done that before. I haven't done this before. So anyway, well, that's it from the studio tonight. So anyway, you guys keep building stuff, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that, you know, everybody always goes, oh, smash the button, all that. Do all that for me. I appreciate it. And to all my friends out there, you know, peace, man.